Good morning and welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Again, sitting in for Dan Kuntz. I'm Steve Hare, your guest host for today's program. Our guest in studio now for our second segment of the program is Wenatchee Valley College President Jim Richardson. Jim joins us today on this Friday to talk about various aspects of the college and what's going on up there. We should make mention today, by the way, that May 19th, Friday, is Armed Forces Day at Wenatchee Valley College. They have a special event that's planned up there at the fountain, being put on by the WVC Veteran Knights Club and the college. And we'll give you a few more details on that. But first of all, let's welcome into the studio Jim Richardson. Hey, Jim.
Hi, Steve. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us at this early hour.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate being on.
And you drove to work today.
Yes.
No bike to work today.
No, sorry.
No. I'm the same way.
It's a little hard.
Well, thanks for joining us. So let's talk about you, first of all, Jim. You've been with the college now for how long?
12 years.
Why?
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't seem that long.
It seems, some days it seems longer, but most days it's a great job. Well, and we have a great college and a lot of great people working there that, and the support from the community is amazing, of course.
Anybody who's driven past the college over the past few years has been seeing a lot of changes occurring up there.
Yep.
I think mainly with construction. But first of all, we had the situation along 5th Street there in front of the college, which the city now has reconfigured into kind of a boulevard, you might say, with the center island and the landscaping and everything else. Early on, I think in that planning process, there were some concerns that we were going to lose some street-side parking as a result of that. Yeah. I wanted to get your assessment of how things have gone since that has developed and people are getting more used to it.
Sure. The nice thing about a community college is every 2 years we have all new students for the most part. And so the ones that were used to parking on the street, soon were gone. They moved on, hopefully. And so, that lessens kind of that discontent because of course the street parking was all free. And we charge, because we have limited parking, we charge for parking in our lots. And so for a while there was, some discontent, but the safety really outweighs it. It used to be people were kind of afraid to go down 5th Street because students, running across between cars, opening doors along there, it was, or pulling out. It was just, it was a safety thing for us, but for the city also. And so we're really happy that the city decided to do what they did. And, we still have some parking issues, especially right now as we do some construction. We took out part of the parking lot so that the contractor could set up in that area. So there's, there are limited spaces, and but the church next door has been very cooperative with us, and we have some parking over there for our students, so it's working out. They just have to walk a little further.
Jim, I think the most notable thing that you'll see on the campus is the changes that are occurring structurally. Right. And with new facilities, of course, you've got your Allied Arts Nursing Center, which is where your office is located. Yep. Then you've got, of course, the new Fine Arts Center, the new theater that's been built, and some new plans, I guess, going forward for possible for Wells Hall. Right. First of all, let's talk about, and then, of course, you've got the new rec center that's being built. The new rec center, yes. Now, that is a fabulous new project. Yes. Tell us about that.
Well, several years ago, the students voted to kind of tax themselves, if you will, with a student fee per credit. And so what they did is they started collecting these fees to build a rec center, because that's what they wanted. They wanted something, our gym in that area was built in, I believe, the 60s. It's not the newest facility in the world, and it's also not the biggest. And so we've well outgrown that facility as far as, especially beyond sports. So any intramurals and things. And so the students tax themselves. We started building a little less than a year ago, actually, up by the Apple Sox field. I call it that because it's really our field, but everybody knows where the Apple Sox play. And it should open this summer, or will open this summer. I won't say should, now that it's going. It's just a fantastic facility. I've been toured through it a few times with my hard hat on, and it's going to be just wonderful for the students, for programming and other things. It's a great facility.
Well, I was out there getting some footage of the construction work, and that was during the winter, so they got a lot of work done through the winter as well.
Yeah, even with the terrible winter that we had, they were out there, and I saw them walking up on the beams. You know, it's snowing, and I think even one day we canceled all evening classes, and I'm going home, and they're still up there working. So they did a great job of working through that. Is nice.
It's going to be a nice facility.
It will be, and the students will really appreciate it.
Getting back to the Allied Arts Building and the nursing program, which has really taken off at the college, and as I understand, they're going to be offering a bachelor's degree program now.
Right. It's our we're going to start offering 2 bachelor's degrees this fall, our first 2. But the RN to BSN is what the one is, so they can get a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. You have to get into the program, you have to have you have to have passed the, you have to be a registered nurse. So you have to have gone through a 2-year program and done that. We call it a 2-year program, but if you talk to the students, it's really 3 because of all the prerequisites. And so they have 3 years when they get to that point. And so really to get their bachelor's degree, they only have 1 full year left. And so it'll start this fall, and they will graduate at the end of next summer. And then we will probably, we haven't decided yet, but probably start running them start in the spring so that they graduate with the rest of our students in June.
Okay.
After this first cohort goes through. We hope to have 20 to 25 students in our first cohort to go through, and we'll work on it from there.
Well, I remember how this whole nursing program started. There was really a crisis statewide for a shortage of nurses. Have you accomplished what you set out to do in terms of providing the needed workforce that the hospitals and clinics are looking for?
Well, yes and no. Part of what we found is that the nursing shortage kind of slowed for a while, but right now I believe I heard, I think Confluence has already hired something like 17 of our graduates that will graduate in June. So they're already, this is a new thing. They've been waiting until June to hire in other places, but obviously Confluence is our biggest employer of our nurses, and they're already hiring our nurses before they even graduate. So again, we're supplying those nurses. My understanding is that in the Confluence, you know, the whole area, the hospital, the clinic and everything, about 80% of the nurses are graduates, or the RNs anyway, but they have a very low rate of BSNs to RNs. And what they wanted to do when they came to us to talk about offering this program, this bachelor's degree, they definitely want more bachelor's degrees prepared nurses. The Nursing Commission is looking at, you know, 80% bachelor's degrees at some point, and they're nowhere near that. And so this program, you know, is really supported by Confluence, but also by other hospitals in Chelan and, you know, all our whole service area, all the way up to OMAC. It's a program that students will be able to take while working, which is nice. There will be some of it online, some of it, then they come in at times on weekends or Fridays and Saturdays. So it'll be a good program for working nurses too. It's not just for our recent grads. Matter of fact, we'll try to get mostly working nurses into the program.
Okay, it's a very successful program, and as a testimonial, my youngest son went through the program.
Very good.
Cadillac in the Tri-Cities.
Okay,
so
great.
Great program.
Yes.
Definitely. Jim Richardson is the president of Wenatchee Valley College. He's joining us today on the program, and we'll be right back with more. We're talking about maybe the state budget and those negotiations that are going on and what that's going to mean for the college spending plan going forward. Jim Richardson will join us for more on NCWLIFE News.
Think of the Wenatchee River, think Osprey Rafting. Hi, this is Gary with Osprey, and we offer the full spectrum of river fun. Heart pumping Class 4 rapids, super fun Class 3 rapids, and for the kids, family-friendly Class 2 rapids. These trips end with a fantastic barbecue beach party. Wait, there's more! Happy hour rafting from 5 to 7, guided paddleboarding, and rentals. Osprey, the river company.
Book your trip today at ospreyrafting.com.
The monsters are coming to Manson.
It's the second annual Manson Rat Rod Car and Truck Show, May 19th and 20th at Leffler Field in Manson. See the gnarliest rat rod cars and trucks around with handcrafted, one-of-a-kind workmanship, hot rod, classic cars, trucks, and a class for the high school kids to bring what they drive. You still have time to enter online at moretomanson.com. Don't miss it. May 19th and 20th at Leffler Field in Manson.
The monsters are coming to Manson.
RLS Productions presents concerts in the Gardens at Omi Gardens this summer, featuring the Wenatchee Swingin' Big Band, Too Slim and the Tail Draggers, the Pan-Latin Sounds of Milunga, Charlie Butts and the Filter Tips, and the Infinity Project, a Journey tribute band. The objectives of the series are to increase midweek tourism to the Wenatchee Valley, the development of a world-class series overlooking the Wenatchee Valley, along with awarding annual scholarships to Wenatchee Valley College students. RLS Productions would like to thank their supporters and volunteers for helping to make all this possible.
Kubota's Orange Opportunity Sales event is going on now at your local Kubota dealer. Take command of your lawn care needs with a new Commander Zero-Turn Mower. Get commercial-grade performance and a full 4-year factory warranty at a price you can afford. Now get special promotional pricing of $38.99 with 0 down and 0% financing for up to 48 months. See your local Kubota dealer today.
The Kubota dealer in North Central Washington is Valley Tractor and Equipment in the Baker Flats Industrial Park, East Wenatchee.
Great to have you on board this Friday morning edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Again, I'm Steve Hare, sitting in for Dan Kuntz. And we've been talking with Jim Richardson, who's the president of Wenatchee Valley College. A lot of changes are occurring at the college. A lot of good things that are going on.
Oh, some great things. One of the things, we've been talking about the BSN, but we're also starting another bachelor's degree, a Bachelor of Applied Science in Engineering Technology, and that starts this fall also. We're working on it right now, but it's all set to launch in the fall. Those students come out of several of our programs. They'll come out of our engineering or our industrial technology program. They can come out of our aerospace electronics program and then finish their bachelor's degree right here in Wenatchee and from Wenatchee Valley College. It's not a shared program, it's our bachelor's degree. So it's these two programs for us kind of take us to the next level and start that. We're looking at other ones too, and looking at the need in the area for bachelor's degrees.
Well, that's quite interesting. Just to think that someone can stay in the Wenatchee Valley and get a 4-year degree in nursing and in engineering. It speaks to the community college system and how it's evolving.
Yes, it does. Several years ago, probably 6-7 years ago, the legislature put some pilots out there. We weren't one of the pilots, but they soon after opened it up to everybody for applied degrees. And we started right away with the nursing, but it's taken us a long time to get there. A lot of hurdles to get through the Nursing Commission and other places. So.
Well, Jim, you and I are both products of the old junior college system when we used to call it high school with ashtrays.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah. Now we don't, there's no smoking on campus at all.
You
so
can't even do
they
that
can't do
now.
that, and it can't cost that anymore.
But I think the whole concept of higher education through the community college system, again, as you said, is changing. And especially changing with the new dynamics in the workforce too.
Right. Yeah, and our workforce now, the jobs, for somebody to get a really good job that is going to support a family, that's going to support you, you really need some type of post-secondary education. And we offer certificates of 1 year and on up now through the bachelor's degree. And obviously, the more education you have, generally, the better off you are as far as jobs go. When you look at what happened in the recession and the recovery since, the people with degrees, with certificates, with some type of higher education have come back, have jobs again. The people without that have been much slower to come back into the job market. So it's really a benefit, and most of our jobs now, they're so technical that they have, people have to have some type of training.
Well, and I think even in the lower grade levels, we're starting to see an increase in the STEM education, right. Science, technology, engineering, and math. You're offering a 4-year degree now in engineering, or
right.
will be soon.
Yep.
And we're also seeing a huge increase in the number of high school students in your Running Start program.
Yes, our Running Start program this year, we have over 700 Running Start students, so I suppose 16, 17, and 18-year-olds on our campus, or our campuses, that includes OMAC, over 700 of them. The interesting part to me is that 93% of those are taking college classes full time, so 15 or probably 12 to 15 credits at least. We will graduate many of those, so a lot of those will have a 2-year degree and their high school diploma at the same time. It's always great to go to graduation and they talk about the 2 degrees that they're getting, and it's just what a benefit for them.
Well, when you think about it, when you add your 4-year degree program, it's actually a 5-year when you consider the Running Start,
Yep, exactly. So yeah, we're offering, it's kind of amazing.
What are the prerequisites for someone to get into the Running Start program?
Yep, you have to be able to, math and English is basically you have to be college ready, and so we have different ways of knowing whether you're college ready. Part of it is we give tests at our college, but also the tests that they give at the high school at the junior level. If they pass those at a certain level, we will bring them in at college level. And so we've seen just a huge increase in those students, and and they do well in classes. They go through and they complete. It's amazing.
Providing a college education through the community college system costs money. And of course, right now the state legislature is in a special session trying to come to an agreement on a next 2-year budget. That's going to affect education through the community college system.
Right.
How are you dealing with this uncertainty right now about where the legislature's headed with education funding?
Me personally, a lot of antacid. We've seen them get here before, but they seem much further apart this year. The Senate has no new revenue. Moves a lot of money around to make their budget. And then the House, of course, says we're going to have, I think it's something like $3 billion in new revenue. And so just the mindset of those two, we can have new revenue, we don't need new revenue, makes it a difficult bridge for them, to build. And so this year, I think they're further apart than they have been in the past, but hopefully they'll get to something at least by the end of June.
Let me ask you about how the lowering of tuitions at colleges has affected your institution.
Actually, there were some years there that it was very high. They were 12% raises a couple of years in a row. What it's done for us, basically, is we're seeing more part-time people come back. I think we lost part-time people when the tuition went way up, and having it come down a little bit and having people come, and take 1 class or 2 classes, especially in the evenings, we're seeing more of that than we have probably the last 4 or 5 years. So it's a good thing that way. People are thinking anyway that they can afford those individual classes and not have to come full time. The other thing is that the legislature didn't quite backfill for when they reduced tuition, and so it was actually a cut to us in our operating budget, and so we have to make that up somehow and keep going, and hopefully have more students. Our student population has come down a little bit from the highs during the recession, but it is still it's still higher than pre-recession enrollment, and it's been even this is probably a 3rd year in a row it's about even.
Well, that's good, I guess, in some respects.
It is.
Easier to plan for.
Yeah. We know next year about how much tuition we'll bring in, that type of thing. So as long as we stay even. But we have done some things to help us with enrollment. This year we hired a recruiter, the first time since the recession. We had one before the recession and laid that person off. And they recruit the whole district, all three counties. They go to all the high schools and all the career fairs and all of that. So we're getting our name out there more to the high schools and the high school students. Also to career fairs and places where adults might be looking for jobs or looking for opportunities, to let them know what opportunities we have at Wenatchee Valley College.
Again, Jim Richardson, College President, Wenatchee Valley College, joining us on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley this morning. Again, the big event that's coming up this summer would be the opening of the Jack and Edna McGuire Student Rec Center.
Yes.
And I know that you're eager to see that open and see the kids. What I say, kids, of course, but
I do too. But yeah,
the students enjoy their new facility because they're paying for it.
They are. They're paying for it. The students, like I said, tax themselves basically to build this. The nice thing, I think, here is that it gives the students a place on campus, it gives us community, it gives them an area. The other thing is that because it's their building, they're in charge of it. And so right now they're going through the budget, they're going through their own budgets, and they're deciding, the positions they need to hire. They're deciding, now the college ultimately is hiring them, but the students are working on position descriptions, they're working on what does this person do, where in the center, those types of things. So it's they've been very involved in everything from the design all the way through. Now this is the nuts and bolts, and this isn't easy stuff. And our student senate has stepped up, and I met with them last week, and I just walk away amazed that they're getting it and they're doing it. So it's their own project.
Well, of course, for more information on Wenatchee Valley College, you do have a website. You have a Facebook page.
Oh, yes, we have Facebook, and the website is wvc.edu. And so, it's it's a new website, by the way. We just launched it this spring, and it is beautiful. There's a few little ticks yet out there, but for the most part, you can find what you want, and it's easy to navigate, and it's beautiful now.
Well, Jim, I appreciate you coming by.
Well, thank you for having me.
Sharing the latest news. We'll have to have you back.
I would love to come back.
By the way, today they're having a big event up at the college. It's the Armed Forces Day event at the Fountain, and of course that's being put on by the Wenatchee Valley College Veteran Knights and the college. They'll have a free barbecue up there at the Fountain. That starts at 11 a.m. this morning. Military vehicle displays, games, local veterans and community service providers, free and open to the public. Go up and enjoy Armed Services Day at the college. I'm Steve Hare. Thanks for joining me on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, brought to you by Weinstein Beverage and our friends at Highgate Senior Living. Jim Richardson, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Steve.
Good luck and have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
You go out and have a great day too here in the Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for joining us on NCWLIFE channel.